Have you been considering starting your own podcast? If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Well, first, it's completely free. Hello, great price point. Nothing, which is great. There are tons of creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, making podcasting portable and super easy. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major places podcasts can be found, getting your show out there and heard. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Anchor pairs you with sponsors instantly and gives your show a support button for your loyal listeners to show their appreciation. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. I trust Anchor with both of my podcasts, Mommy Wines and Tales After Dark. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started, and don't forget to join the MW Podcast Network. Hi, Wine Moms, and thank you for listening to this MW Network and Emma Dawn production. Now available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and wherever else you get your favorite podcasts. Do you love supporting the show? Shop all the MWP branded merchandise on themummywines.com or click the support link in the show notes below. This week's show is brought to you by our sponsors, Anchor, my podcast platform, and in my entirely biased opinion, the best way to record, edit, and upload your podcast all in one place. One Hope. One Hope wines are thoughtfully created by the most acclaimed winemakers, rooted with purpose, right in the heart of Napa Valley, California. One Hope puts your wine to work by donating over $5 million and counting to causes around the world. Shop One Hope wines today and feel good with each sip at onehopewine.com/myshop/mommywines. Zaya Active. Do you need premium, quality, active, and loungewear? I know I do, but I hate the price tag on top designer and retail brands. Shop myzaya.com/EmmaDawn for men's, women's, and youth styles today. New Zaya Active items are released every Wednesday, along with new episodes of Mommy Wines. So make sure you're following along on IG for new items showcased every week in my stories. The Fetching Barker. The Fetching Barker is mine and Milo's online, eco-friendly, naturally focused dog supply shop with everything you need from fetching accessories to daily doggy essentials. Shop thefetchingbarker.com and use code Zeppelin15 to save at checkout. EDJ Consulting Group. If you didn't know, podcasting is not my full-time gig just yet. By day, I am a business financial consultant specializing in small to medium-sized business bookkeeping, tax prep, and payroll. This is what has allowed me to not have to choose between my son or a job. If you're interested in learning how you can become a home bookkeeper, check out my Home Bookkeeper Masterclass. You can find more info at edjconsultinggroup.com. Now let's get into the episode.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm excited. I'm sorry. I'm really excited. I'm usually on your end of the whole podcast world. I'm never on the visitor side.
Oh, do you have your own podcast?
Yes, I do. Well, not my personal own. With the foundation that I run, we have a Super Mommy podcast. That's what we call it.
Ooh, fun. Tell me more about that.
Okay. Well, the podcast is underneath the Darcy J Foundation, and the Darcy J Foundation pretty much, basically, I sum it up really quickly. It's for the support of all moms, any mom or dad or a parent, mentally, physically, emotionally. We kind of get you healthy with our fitness. We get you healthy with the food pantry and food that we provide. Mentally, we get you healthy with our Supermom podcast. So that's emotionally, we kind of help out with that. And we also give baby clothes, baby diapers, and baby formula, and all essential items like baby, shoot, like anything you need for a child within the first 5 years, we
Oh,
give
cute.
you for free every other month. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we started our podcast during the whole quarantine, and it's been to kind of just get some stress out
I
because
hear you.
everybody was like quarantined. So we started doing that back in March, and we used the Anchor app, so that's how I know about it.
See, I love Anchor. I had my podcast start out on Castbox.
I heard of that one.
And that was good, but then I switched over like right before quarantine because they didn't have any way to like record remotely. And I wasn't expecting quarantine to happen. But I was like, man, my co-host at the time before I took this show solo had kids, and I have a kid, and I'm like, we can't always like
get together,
have a quiet moment at the same exact time. So we were
Facts.
Facts, yes. So we were like, oh my God, we need to find a podcast platform that has like some kind of technology to let us record remotely. And this is pre-quarantine, so neither one of us knew about Zoom or any of the Zoom updates. Like they didn't launch yet. But Anchor has been so awesome. It's so easy for me to like look at all the data, who's listening, how many plays I'm at, which the Mommy Wines podcast has gone through a lot of ups and downs, but we just hit 50,000.
Yay! Like, no, I'm excited for you. Okay, I'm the type of person, I get excited for other people's wins simply because that's just how I was raised. So, yay! Like, I love it. I love it. Other people winning is amazing, especially other women. And then my next step is other moms because the shit is hard. I'm sorry. Wait, am I allowed to cuss?
Oh, all day long.
Okay, yes, the shit is hard.
We keep it real on the Mommy Wines podcast. You know how real I'm keeping it right now is I have almost an entire bottle of One Hope's Pinot Grigio in my water bottle because I am somebody who needs like a child-proof cup. Over here at Mommy Wines, we love wine, and there's absolutely nothing better than cheersing your way through the holidays. One Hope is an affordable boutique wine company coming to you directly from Napa Valley, California that gives back by supporting nonprofits. They have a bubbly brut sparkling wine that supports end childhood hunger. 1 in 5 children do not know where their next meal is coming from, but thanks to the charitable wine lovers like yourself, One Hope has been able to provide over 2,758,428 meals to help feed hungry children. Or there's my new favorite, a red, believe it or not, a Pinot Noir that has helped over 65,267 and counting pets find forever homes. This season, give the gift of One Hope wine and feel good that by shopping One Hope, you're helping the world become a better place. Being charitable this holiday season has never been easier with One Hope's gift boxes. Make sure to check out onehopewine.com/myshop/mommywines. Once again, that's onehopewine.com/myshop/mommywines. Also, the link is in the show notes below. When I'm like walking around my house, like doing like folding the laundry, I can't be carrying a wine glass. Okay.
I literally just came from Big Lots and I was shopping with my sisters and I bought like this coffee cup mug tumbler and they're like, why are you buying this? I was like, I need something bulletproof for when I'm doing wine, like when I'm drinking wine. Like I can't walk around with a glass all the time. It spills, my son knocks it over, my husband breaks them. Like I need something like for real. Like I need something real to walk around with my wine. I feel I'm there with you.
Like if my son goes to visit his dad every other weekend, so when at night, it's only 4:00 here in Nevada, but at night, if I'm like sitting down, I'm cozying up on the couch, I'm watching a movie or catching up on The Bachelorette, yeah, I will have a nice glass of wine and be a real adult human being. But if it is like Friday afternoon, he just left, I'm folding laundry, I'm taking the dog for a walk, I need a water bottle.
You need a water bottle. You need something strong and durable. No, I'm home alone, and this is very rare. I had to kind of trick my mom and my sisters. I'm like, yeah, I gotta go do this very important thing. So drop me off at my house, and they're like, well, your son and your daughter are at my house. Well, leave them there. I'll come back.
That's what grandparents are for.
I'm like, just listen. It's really important. I'm like, they pay me for this. Like, I have to go and do this. So that's how I have the house quiet and time alone. And I totally feel you on the remote thing, because everybody that works with us with DJF, the Darcy J Foundation, we're all moms, at least 2 or more kids. So we have 0 time to get together, make it quiet. So that's how we found the Anchor app. I was like, listen, we can't. It's too much. It's too much to try to get together. Yeah, so I feel you on that one, but the water bottle is genius. Yeah. I love
I
that
had to.
idea.
I found mine. It's the TAL water bottle. It's like baby pink, super cute. Got it at Walmart for $8.
Walmart is my store. I'm there every day.
Oh my gosh.
Like every day. It's sad.
I live in probably one of the most rural areas of Nevada. And I'm like, okay, so Salt Lake, I'm like 3 hours west of that. So really there's like nothing around here. And I have to go over a giant like summit, like a giant mountain to get to the next town, to get to a Walmart. And I am like, I first of all have to talk my kid into putting some clothes on. And then I have to get in my car, put pants on myself, then get in the car, hopefully. And then I have to drive over this mountain and then all the way through town just to get to Walmart. I'm like, no, I'm just going to order it online.
I don't know how people do it in rural towns. I'm from South Florida. Like Miami is 30 minutes away from me, but everywhere, we got Broward, we got West Palm. It's all like I tell a lot of people, they're like, how do you find all these different wines when I'm posting them? I'm like, I just go up to the liquor store. Like, there's a liquor store on every corner, and you get everything we have drive-through liquor stores. It's amazing. So I really, like, as much as I want to move to somewhere quiet, for the liquor's sake and wine's sake, I don't think I can move into a rural town. Like, it's just so hard for me. Like, I don't know how people do it. Like, I literally can get wine and liquor 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Like, I can't do it. Oh my gosh, I don't know how people do it. Like, I'm literally maybe 3 minutes from a liquor store. It's crazy.
The holidays are fast approaching, and you know what that means? That's right, it's gifting season. Luckily, Zaya Active has everything you're looking for when it comes to premium, affordable, active, and loungewear for the whole family. Head over to myzaya.com/Emma to start checking off your Christmas list from the comforts of home. With the extremely popular women's leggings to the stunning men's collection and ever-growing youth styles, you're bound to find something for everyone. Once again, that's myzaya.com/Emma. I did 2 other podcasts with other moms. Jessica from Off the Vine, she does wine furniture, like wooden wine crate furniture, super cute stuff. And she is in, I think it was like a small area outside of Clearwater. Okay, and then I did another episode with a Florida mom called Curly Crown on Instagram. And she has like the cutest freaking kids ever. She lives in Tampa or outside of Tampa, and she said the same thing. Florida, it's like you can be in this little neighborhood that feels like a small town, but then like 4 or 5 minutes down the road, you're like, bam, city.
Unless you're in North Florida, because both of those moms are in Central Florida, and West Florida, but anything the top of Tampa is more country. And under Tampa and Orlando are Central Florida, are like Central Florida, and under are literally like city life. Like it's all city life, no matter which side you go to. Even though West Florida, under Tampa, that can kind of be country as well, but it still has very city life, like things to it. Like I don't know how to explain, but yeah, anywhere you go, yeah, you can be in the suburbs as far as you want to be, but 4 to 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes max, you're in a city somewhere and you're living it up. I'm sorry, like I don't know, I can't
You're like,
explain,
I
but
love it.
I love it because it's like I just can't because I've been to the country. My family's from Georgia, like the backwoods of Georgia and South
I love when
Carolina.
people say that.
Like because it's really it explains it. You're like, oh, you're from Georgia? Yeah, cool. Not Atlanta, not like Savannah, like the backwoods. Like there's no lights and all trees.
The booty
Yes.
boonies. The booties of the booties.
Yes, especially in South Carolina. Like you have to get off of the highway, go down 3 different roads, then you hit a dirt road, then you hit like the lake, and then that's where my family is. Like it's the real backwoods.
Are you a pet owner like us? Or maybe you're soon to be adding a 4-legged friend to your family this holiday season. Milo insisted on getting a dog, and once I saw Zeppelin, a chocolate golden doodle, at an animal shelter, I knew she was the one for us. They instantly became best friends, and that's what inspired me to launch our canine supply shop, The Fetching Barker. The Fetching Barker has everything you need, from puppy essentials to all your I have to have this items that you can't just not add to your cart. We have a strong focus on eco-friendly and natural products, along with a wide range of trusted hemp and CBD treats, toys, salves, oils, and so much more. Visit thefetchingbarker.com today, and remember that a portion of all proceeds go to support global conservation efforts to protect the planet our pets love. That's thefetchingbarker.com. And feel free to go ahead and follow on Instagram at fetchingbarker. I love it.
So for me, down here in South Florida, it's expensive as shit, but I'll take it any day if I can get wine whenever I want. Like that's just where I am.
It is pricey. I have a friend who lives in Miami, and I went out there when I was pregnant with my son. I was like, this is the last vacation. Like, I couldn't drink. But honestly, Miami has so much, like, just, like, culture. Yeah. Like, the city is so lively. Mm-hmm. There was, like, live music. There was, like, crazy different, like, foods everywhere. Like, you would have, like, an Indian restaurant next to, like, a Cuban restaurant next to, like, all these different foods. Like,
it's amazing.
We were living it up, and I wasn't even drinking because I was like, I just found out I was pregnant with my son. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, this is the last vacation I'm going to take for the rest of my life.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So we were eating food. We were going to see music. We were going to the beach. So much fun.
So even if you're not drinking, it's still so much you can do. But if you're drinking, it's more to do. But yes, like South Florida has culture like nobody's business. And that's pretty much why I love it. And I tell people, like, when I'm going out of town, I'm like, if I can't smell the city, and they're like, what do you mean? If there's not food coming out of houses, the smell of food coming out of houses, like, what am I here for? Like, I need to smell a city. I need to make sure that the food is good. Like, I need to smell what's going on. Like, if you walk down any street in Miami, if you walk down any street in Broward, you can smell, like, everybody's, you got curry chicken coming from, maybe a Jamaican house or a Bahamian house. You got like collard greens and fried chicken coming from an African American house. You have like pico de gallo coming from like a Mexican, like it's tacos, everything. It's just, I need to smell the city. So like my sisters laugh because my oldest sister lives in Atlanta. Next up, I'm the baby. So next up, she just moved from Chicago. And the knee baby, she lives in Orlando, Florida. And when we went up to Chicago, or just like traveling with them, because they lived in New York at one point, they lived in Missouri, and I'm like, I don't smell the city. Like, I need to smell food. Like, what do you mean? Like, granted, New York smells like trash, but I still loved it. It
Always.
smelled like trash.
It literally smells like the bottom of a dumpster, no matter where you are.
And so surprisingly, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, I love New York. So I've been obsessed with New York since I was like 12. Since they moved there. So I truly love it. I was like, it smells like trash, but there's parts of it that can smell like some food. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Do you listen to the Lady Gang?
No.
Oh my God. You need to get on the Lady Gang. It's another podcast that I listen to. And they just had this comedian. Oh my God. I forget her name. But there's so many people right now doing reels of her on like Instagram and TikTok. It was like, I just saw one. I shared it to my story. I wonder if it's still there. But it was like a little girl and her mom was and she comes up and she's like, I hit her. And the mom's like, because she was mean to you, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the girl's like, no. And she's like, she said something bad to you, right? And she's like, she didn't get a chance.
I saw that. What is her name? Like Tierra? It's like to some. Yes, I do know who you're talking about. Yes.
I forget her name, but yeah, it's like something like that. You're so close. But she was just a guest on the Lady Gang.
Oh, I love her.
And her episode was so funny because she's a comedian. Obviously, it's going to be hilarious. But she had to move to New York, like just for jobs. And I think she's like getting into musical theater and stuff. So her management team, like basically like made her move to New York City and she hates it. And she like can't stand it. And she was just going in on New York. And she was like, you don't even have to meet anybody from New York, but they're going to sit there and they're going to stick up for the city like it's their grandma.
Yes.
And I was like, that is so you.
My hand is raised.
Defend New York like it's your grandma and you don't even live there.
To be honest, I've been there enough. Like in my head, I've been to New York enough because, my brother-in-law, Darcy, who's the head of the Darcy J Foundation, he played for the Giants. So we went all the time. We were always there. It just because I was so young when he played, and when you're the youngest, I'm sorry, when you're the youngest, if any other young siblings can attest to this, you just get drug everywhere. You don't get no questions asked. You just go. So we were just
true.
Yeah,
it's true.
We were you just go. Hey, where are we going? Shut up. Let's come on. You don't ask questions. You're not allowed. Especially in an African American family, you're just not allowed. Why are you questioning me? Like, come on. So I was just there so often, and a young child who loves music. I love musicals. I've always loved musicals. And so you're taking me to the capital of the musical world. I just fell in love with New York. So yes, I would defend it like it is my grandma.
As many of you may know, I have over a decade of financial industry experience, and financial wellness is such a passion of mine. Like many things in the world, finances tend to look a little bit different for women, even in today's generation. Webull has simplified the stock market and investing game with an easy-to-navigate zero-commission platform, free real-time quotes, multi-platform accessibility, and 24/7 online help along with extended trading hours. If you're looking to increase your financial portfolio, set up your retirement IRA, and start investing in yourself, click the link in the show notes below to receive 2 free stocks on me.
I'm there.
I think New York is one of those cities that people either love it or hate it. And I am looking out my window right now because where I'm at, I'm kind of butted up against the Ruby Mountains. So I am watching the sunset and how it is just lighting up the sky behind the Ruby Mountains right now. And it literally looks fake. It's so beautiful.
You know,
it's like
That's
The sky
crazy.
is cotton candy. The mountains are snowy. Ugh.
My
I'm like, nope, I would
30-year-old
not trade this
self
in.
would love that. See, and me and my best friend, we talk about this all the time because when I was like 20 something, I'm like, I'm gonna move to New York. I didn't imagine myself having kids, a husband. I thought I was gonna be that woman that traveled the world and brought back souvenirs and like told the stories of like, yes, I was in Morocco with a man and we had fun, but I left him in Morocco. Like I thought I was gonna do that, but here I am married and pregnant, or not pregnant now, but I had a son, and it was just, that's how I always thought I was gonna be. And now like that I'm older, like I'm about to be 30 next year, and like my friends like, what are we doing for your birthday? And I was like, I want to go to the mountains, I want to drink wine, and I just want to see mountains and scenery. She's like, okay. And so like the 30-year-old me would love that. Like I would love that. I just like nature, I like scenery, I like being out, but I also truly do love the speed and of New York, and I love that it had because coming from South Florida, you see one season hot all the time.
Yeah,
It's
I
always
could
hot.
not. I would die. I'd
Oh,
melt in humidity.
oh
My
God.
hair, I call my hair a Christmas tree. Because when it touches humidity, the bottom just poofs from like the roots out, and I look like a Christmas tree.
Imagine living like that all your life.
No.
Like imagine living like that. Oh, I'm gonna straighten my hair and go to the fair. No, boo, you're gonna get like humidified and you're gonna look ugly. Like go sit down. Like imagine having that type of hair in South Florida. That's how my hair is. Just like it's awful, but you live with it. But coming from South Florida, you don't see many seasons. Like you might get a real good winter every 6, 7 years, So I feel like New York really gave me everything. It gave me spring, it gave me summer, it gave me fall. Like trees don't change down here. What do you mean trees color? Like the trees change color. I didn't know until I went to New York. And then I was like, they change color.
Oh my God.
Talk about like, my family, they yeah,
Surprise.
they took us around, where they could. Most of our trips were South Carolina. North Carolina was the furthest out. No, prior to New York was North Carolina was the furthest I went. Yeah, but we went in the summer. Went to Pittsburgh, Georgia. We visit southern states because we're southern people. So like once I got to New York, I was like, they're really orange. Oh my gosh. Like, I was
Go to
freaking out.
Tennessee. You got to go to like the Smoky Mountains or
That's
something.
where I want to go for my birthday. It's in March, so I'm getting there. I'm gonna go. I have to go. I have to go.
It's gonna be wet. It's gonna be slushy.
I can't wait. I mean, anything but hot.
Get some hunter boots.
Ooh.
Because it's gonna be wet.
Listen, I would literally take anything but hot. Like at this point, anything but hot and humid, I'll take it. I've been to, Los Angeles, and I loved it. My husband thought I was crazy. We went on our honeymoon, Las Vegas. We went on our honeymoon, and I was like, I want to move here because the heat, it wasn't humid. I was like, it's hot, but I can deal with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather, a dry heat than this humid heat. You sweat and it's 70 degrees. Like, who does that? So
I just had a Vegas mom on my show earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about when I lived in Vegas and like her experience living in Vegas. And you're right. Like it could be 105 degrees in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And you feel like it's a nice summer day. But like 75 degrees in like Florida.
That's like 90. It's like 90.
I got to put like some deodorant under my boobs in Florida.
You got to put a bra on. Like, let's talk about that.
Gotta get some under boob antiperspirant to go with my underarm antiperspirant.
Let me tell you,
my toiletry bag, if I ever went to Florida in the summertime, would be, I bet you, 10 pounds heavier than it would be if I went anywhere else.
Just don't come. Like, to be honest, like I don't know why people visit Florida in the summer. Like, why put yourself through this? They're like, well, it's cold everywhere else. So what? Like, seriously. So what? Like, why would you do this to yourself? Who wants to see a mouse in the middle of summer? Like, go the fuck home. Go home. Go home.
Oh my gosh. I could not imagine. Florida would be like the worst place for me to live because I have such bad allergies and I didn't realize how bad they were until I moved out west and then went back home to Ohio.
Oh, nice.
And I'm also, one of my allergies I found out because I went to a specialist and they had these like little acupuncture needles with like these capsules at the end. And it was like a dose of whatever, like bees or pollen or whatever, all of this stuff. And I'm allergic to mold, which is something that grows in humid places. So it's like, I can't go anywhere like tropical, I'm afraid. Because I'm like, well, I would imagine like that's just a naturally occurring thing. Like if you're somewhere like a rainforest, like I imagine all of the moss in a rainforest would be like mold, right?
Yes, that's why I love.
It's just like,
yes,
I'm not a scientist, but I'm guessing.
You're right, because seriously, like me and my sisters, I have 4 sisters, no, 3 sisters. I'm the 4th. Lord Jesus, I gotta stop drinking. And we all suffer from like dust and pollen. Like my middle sister was in a bubble for the first 5 years of her life, and it's just like I was like, Mom, move us away from this place. And we suffer. And my poor son now deals with the allergies that were passed down to him. And we live on antihistamines like every day. We can't survive unless we have an allergy tablet in the morning. Like I sound stuffy now simply because last night we have a Thanksgiving tradition where we watch movies in my parents' backyard. So
that's cute.
It is really cute. I should post more about it, but last night we were sitting and the dew in South Florida, it's not humid, but it's the humid of South Florida, and when you're sitting outside,
stop.
It's horrible. You got the humidity, then you have the dew, and when the dew sits on your head, you get allergies, which is pretty much pollen. And my dad's like a freaking gardener, so he has all kind of plants and tropical oasis in the backyard. Like it's like we can't escape this shit. Like,
oh my God, I'm dying.
It's crazy. Like that's the story of our lives. It's like survival of the fittest. Everybody says, if you can survive the concrete jungles of New York, you're great. No, if you can survive in fucking Florida, you can survive anywhere.
It's a fight for the death down there.
It is. I mean, with alligators and shit, like they're real. Like they come up on your property, like what's up? So it's just like, hey. So you literally, it's survival of the fittest. I'm sorry, it is. If you want to live in Florida, you got all kind of shit. I'm just saying, like from animals to people. I don't know.
My son has been begging me. He found this show on Netflix called Oscar's Oasis. And it's about like this lizard and dinosaurs. But he has been begging me to take him on a vacation where he can see lizards. Now, we all know where lizards like to live, and we all know I'm allergic to all of that crap. So I am like looking around and I'm like, okay, well, I already know like Puerto Rico. Like that was the first spot I thought of. And I'm like, well, what the hell is Puerto Rico? It's a tropical island in the middle of the damn ocean, full of like forests. And I know one side of Puerto Rico is kind of like deserty and like sandy. But of course, no, that's not where the hotels and things are. Of course not.
Nope.
So I'm like, okay, well, maybe we don't have to go that far. Maybe we can go to like Florida, but in January.
Yes.
Like after summer and after everybody goes for Christmas, their Disney Wonderland Christmas, let's go in January when nobody is probably in Florida.
January, February is great. January through March. I always say October to March. That's when I'm out the door. Like I'll, go anywhere. I do campfires. I'll happily sit outside and talk to you. After that, no. Nope. No.
You get a good 3 months.
Yes.
And then you're back in the air conditioning.
I'm an AC
with your air
baby.
purifier.
Yes, I am an AC baby with all the purifiers and air filters. Like, my husband thought I was crazy when I moved into his house. I brought like 3 purifiers. He's like, I brought 3 purifiers and a humidifier. He's like, so I don't get it. I was like, well, you still got to keep the back of your throat moisturized. That's what the humidifier is for. But the purifiers are for the dust and shit that I'm allergic to. He's like, wow. I was like, yeah, you didn't know what you married? Yeah, I'm real sickly.
I got real good genes under here.
Yes. So how old is your son?
He is 4.
Oh, nice. Like
How
4
old's your
this
little
year?
one?
Oh, he's 3, but he'll be 4 in
cute.
March.
Milo just turned 4 in September.
Nice. So they're kind of around like they'll be in school together-ish, maybe.
Yeah, if
Like
if
that type of
anybody ever
age.
figures out what's going on with COVID, I am not one of those moms that's
Don't
going to be
even
like,
get
you know, we're
started.
so scared. I'm going to keep my kid home. No, the second I can, that kid's ass is being shoved on a bus and he is going to school. Because
Can I be 100%
do it.
honest? Since June, my son has been back in preschool
Really?
simply because he's the only child, and I couldn't take it anymore. But he was out from like March, and he's been back since June. And the preschool is very safe. They've had literally 0 cases, 0 incidents, 0 sickness. Since June, I had to put him back because it was like, and I felt so horrible.
Nope, don't do it. Don't feel horrible.
But he had to go. I'm sorry.
I am a very big supporter in the fact that I chose my profession and it was not to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it. First of all, Milo looks at me as a mother.
That part.
Not a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
When I I bought flashcards. I signed up for education.com. You know, we did all the things. And all the things are going on. I set him up for success. Are we succeeding? No. He needs to go to school.
Nope. He has to
And
go.
so I was in Salt Lake City. So I had Milo up here in Northern Nevada. And then I moved because I own a consulting practice. And one of the things I do within my practice is I teach a mortgage compliance program. And I help companies develop their mortgage department. So like brokerages and credit unions and things like that. So Salt Lake City has a bunch of credit unions. Utah is credit union crazy. They're all about the credit union. The bad thing about credit unions is that they don't have to be licensed or educated to be a mortgage loan officer. So, which is kind of scary. I'm really surprised so many people are like, yeah, I'm going to support my local credit union and I'm going to buy this $500,000 house through this person who's not educated or licensed. They're just like, well, okay, we're going to do it. So of course, you know, they had some compliance issues. Of course. You know, people start slacking off and getting lazy and then whatever. So I moved out there and I started working in some of the mortgage departments, cleaning things up. And I was like, okay, I am going to finish this out and then I'm going to go back to Nevada. And that is exactly what I did. I stayed in Utah 2 years, too long, hated it. You can't get wine shipped there. And I think that is a sin.
I'm trying to tell you. It's you gotta go where the wine flows. Do you hear me what I said? You gotta go where the wine flows. Seriously, like, I'm sorry. I can't live in a world where the wine is not accessible minutes away. Like, I need it shipped, delivered, and carried into my house like it's on a royal plane. Like, seriously.
So in Nevada, I am back on my wine subscription. I actually just switched because I had a new podcast sponsor come on board, which is One Hope Wines. Yay! And I am doing seasonal fundraisers with them. And the fall fundraiser was for an organization called The Conscious Kid. And I don't know if you've heard about them, but they do all kinds of children's books that support anti-racism and diversity and equality and female rights. So they're super fun.
Yes.
And my winter fundraiser is for the ASPCA because we rescued our golden doodle Zeppelin. And it's getting cold and tons of animals around the streets. So when One Hope reached out to me to be a sponsor of my show, they were like telling me about what they do, and they give back to tons and tons and tons of nonprofits, which I am like all about that. And that's why I'm drinking their Pinot Grigio, because their Pinot Grigio is the best I've ever had in my entire life. And I am like a white wine hoarder. I will try any white wine, but I've tried over like, I would say 100 Pinot Grigios. And like this Pinot Grigio, when I tell you it's the best of all time, it is like the best of all time. So good.
I've been dying to try One Hope. I don't know why I haven't done it yet. I'm pretty much making my way.
You're making your rounds.
I'm making my way downtown, you know.
Have you been looking for the right opportunity to finally leave behind your daunting 9-to-5 and live that laptop lifestyle you've been dreaming of? Maybe you have daydreams of living a life of financial freedom and time flexibility, and a picture in your head laying on a beach somewhere, completely stress-free. Though that would be nice and a total possibility, what I have for you is just a simple work-from-home opportunity. No, this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme or another MLM. What I'm talking about here is bookkeeping. Yes, that's right, bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is how I am able to live my life without choosing between a career and my son. How we were financially unaffected by the pandemic shutdown, and how I am my own boss, living and working around a schedule that's best for my family, not someone else or office hours. Bookkeeping is one of the oldest administrative positions around, making this not only a common and respected career choice, but with today's technology and cloud-based programs, a position that is in demand and able to be done from anywhere. Bookkeeping is perfect for parents who want or need to work from home, military spouses, college students, retirees, and frequent travelers. Basically, anybody who wishes to leave the chains of the cubicle behind. For more information and to enroll today, visit edjconsultinggroup.com/resources. Thank you for listening to this episode of MW After Dark. If you love this episode and want to hear more from Kayla Smith of SimpleTailz, then stay tuned this Wine Wednesday for part 2 of her episode. Have you noticed that we are rebranding over here at the Mommy Wines? We have a new logo, new segments coming soon, and, of course, new merchandise. What better way to support the show than rocking your very own Mommy Wines podcast merch? Our new logo is presented on slouchy sweatshirts, tees, and tanks. We have items for men. We have items for babies. We have toddler stuff. We even have puppy hoodies for all the dogs out there listening. So make sure to head over to the Mommy Wines Podcast merch store available at Teespring and themommywines.com under the shop page. If you don't see anything you just can't live without, then you can always support the show by clicking the support button on anchor.fm/mommy-wines. Support and merch is always linked in the show notes below. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Mommy Wines Podcast. Make sure to leave a rating and review. To support the show you love, check out the exclusive branded merchandise on themommywines.com. For extra sassy, honest, and potentially controversial content, make sure to join me over on the Mommy Wines Patreon. Also, don't forget to check out the other shows on the MW Network. If you love scary stories and true crime, you'll love Tales After Dark. More shows are coming soon, so make sure to stay connected on social at Mommy Wines Podcast. And until next Wine Wednesday, mamas, parent and drink responsibly.